Hello, this is NCERT's live phone-in program, and we are here with an economics class for class 10 students. Welcome to all of you, and today we are going to talk about development. The topic is Development Part 2. Development Part 1 has already been covered by our expert. Let's meet our expert for this session. We have in our studio Professor M.V. Srinivasan. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Sir is from Department of Education in Social Sciences, NCERT, and if you have any questions regarding this, then you can simply contact us. Our numbers are 1800112199. The other number is 1800111265. You're also watching us live right now on SWAYAM Prabha's channel number 31, Kishore Manch. You're also watching us on different channel numbers on different networks. The network, if you have Airtel, then you are tuning to channel number 440. If you have Videocon, the channel number is 477. If you have TataSky, then the channel number is 756. If you have Dish TV, please tune in to channel number 950. If you have DD Free Dish Channel, then the channel number would be 128, and if you have Sun Direct, the channel number is 793. There are many ways through which you are watching us live right now and enjoying this program. But if you are on YouTube and you want to watch us there, then our YouTube channel, which is NCERT Official, you are watching us there as well. If you have any questions, queries, you can write it down in the conversation box, or you can even send it on our email ID, which is ciet.kishoremanch@gmail.com. Well, you can also download Kishore Manch app for all the sessions. And if you have Jio TV, then we are there as well. So we don't want you to waste your time and waste your education, because we are right now in the lockdown situation. We're sitting at home, but studies is something which shouldn't be stopped. So let's begin with our session for today, because development part 1 has already been covered. So sir, I request sir to please give a gist of the whole session which you covered earlier, and also I want to ask that what are the different notions of different people regarding development?
Yeah. Thank you, Tanvi, and you can call me Dr. Srinivasan. And if you look at, welcome to the viewers. In the previous session, if you recall, we looked at development. What is development? How people perceive development? And let us go by the slide. If you look at, let us recap what we have discussed in the last session. This session is also available in the NCERT official YouTube and for 18 minutes. Let me recap certain important points. People may have, as an individual, different perspectives about development. The major indicator of development as an individual is that we all perceive that we wanted a regular income, a better income, higher income, so that we can have a better standard of living actually. If you go beyond the incomes, we also feel that we need to be treated equally, both in the house and outside the house. For example, many children, if they happen to be girls, they may not be getting equal treatment as boys. Boys may be going out, playing outside. It is not the same case with the children, particularly the adolescent children. And many times freedom also, the freedom to do whatever the perception. You are in class 10 now, maybe next year you may be opting for class 11. So you may be like wanting equal treatment. Freedom in the sense of whatever the subject that you want to opt. You may be wanting to opt for economics, arts and subjects. Maybe your parents may be like wanting you to study science. That means your freedom is curtailed actually. So these are some of the developmental goals as an individual we feel actually. We also discussed about what is generally why people have different perception. It may vary from the person to person, the family to family, and the place in which you live, the incomes that your family is earning, the kind of exposure, the kind of schools that you are studying. Development is also conflicting. We also discussed last time that dams, if you look at, I also discussed about Narmada Dam. So Narmada Dam is also a major breadwinner for lakhs and lakhs of farmers in different states of the country, but it is also a breadwinner for the tribals who are deprived of their basic rights. So when the tribals are not given their compensation properly, when they are given alternative employment opportunities, then the building dam, which is a developmental activity, it becomes a conflictual for the one section and benefit for the other section. So this means the development also can be conflicting actually. So these are the major points that we have discussed. In the last session there was a technical errors, and due to which we were not able to discuss more on it. So today I am going to discuss further and complete this session on development. Look at the income as a development of indicator. We also discussed briefly about the per capita income. Among all the indicators of development, the major indicator is the income. Let us take your own family. So you may be like, if your family is earning a better income, higher income, regular income, and you may be able to buy things, you have to have a better, like you can have a better clothes, better facilities, you can have separate room for studies, you can have a separate kitchen, you can have all other facilities. So income is the major indicator of development. As in the case of family, the countries also have income as a indicator of development. What is this income means for the whole country? That means all the incomes earned by different families, different households, if you pool together and then divide by the total number of people in the country. Look at this slide. See, the total income earned by all the families, all the households in a country from various sources, if you pool together and divide by the total population living in that country, it is called per capita income. The term per capita income, don't worry, this is basically average income. The average income, it's similar to the marks that you are scoring. Suppose you are having 5 subjects, what you do? You just total, like you add all these marks in the like different subjects and divide by the number of subjects. Same way, the income is total income divided by the total population. So this indicator, the per capita income as the indicator of development, is one kind of classification promoted by the World Bank. The World Bank, it is the expansion of this called International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. So this is popularly known as World Bank. So this World Bank is classifying countries into 3 categories. This also we have discussed last time. The 3 categories means those who are earning $12,056 and above, they are called high income countries, and those who are earning $955 per year, the per capita income, they are called low income countries. Those countries which are between 12,056 and 955, they are called middle income countries. Look at the last line, India PCI, India's per capita income as of 2017-18, it's about $820, like $1,820. This means in Indian rupees, it's called about, it is be around 81,000 rupees. Okay, so the per capita income of, as per the World Bank classification, as per the World Bank statistics, the per capita of income of India is about 81,000 rupees. So this is the one indicator of development. But is it is it sufficient? Suppose you have, like, we are living in the corona area, lockdown period. Even if you have all the incomes, can you enjoy all these development indicators? You cannot. Okay, so the income is alone is not sufficient, which we are going to discuss further. Okay, and look at this. The total income and average income we have discussed. Suppose, let me give an example. You are assume that you are living in a country where there are only 5 people. Okay, look at the diagram, table. In that table, you have 5 citizens, citizen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in 2 countries. Okay, and country A, the 5 citizens are earning 9,500, 10,500, 9,800, 10,000 and 10,200. In country B, people are earning 500, 500, 500, 500 and 48,000. So these are the individual incomes of 5 citizens. Okay, if this is this imaginary situation, which country you will be interested to live in? Before that, we also have to calculate.
A, definitely.
Yeah. So country A, is that so? Why? If you look at the total income, and what is the total income of this country A? It is about 50,000. Okay.
Okay.
And in country B also 50,000. Both the countries are having higher incomes, 50,000, 50,000. So why you have to live in country A? Why? Because if you calculate the average income, what is the average income of this country, these 5 countries? Here it will be much more lesser than in country A. If you want to, like, suppose you are given a chance by say you can choose your occupation of a higher income. That means you will choose country B because in the higher income 48,000, so you will be like to live in country B. Okay, suppose you are given, say for example, you are chosen by the lottery system. Which country you will be like to live in? Definitely in country B. Okay, so country A. So if in country A, people are earning relatively higher incomes. All the 5 citizens are earning higher incomes. So that is why you would prefer to live in country A. Okay, if one person only earning higher income and the rest of the 4 persons are earning for low income, you will be like to live in only country A. So averages may not be able to explain or may not be able to explain the better scenario of the income as an indicator of development. Okay, that is why we would need some other indicators. What are those indicators generally pursued by used by the different countries? Before going to the countries, let us look at the states. We have many states in India. Look at the slide. If you look at the slides, and you have a I used this 6 states development indicators. On the third column, you have a per capita income, and you have a per capita income of 6 countries, and the last row, average income of the whole country. Okay, average development indicators of the whole country. If you look at the per capita income, the highest income, who is earning the highest income? Haryana. So Haryana is earning 1,80,200 rupees. Okay.
Yeah.
If you look at the infant mortality ratio, this means how many children are able to are not able to survive before they celebrate their first birthday. Okay, before they celebrate their first birthday. If you look at the this is Haryana figure is blurring in the thing 30. Haryana is having highest income, but its infant mortality rate is 30. That means out of 1,000 children born in Haryana, 30 children die before they celebrate the first birthday. Whereas look at Kerala. Kerala 1,63,500 its per capita income, but it is able to, or only 10 children die before they celebrate their first birthday. This means health wise Kerala is doing better. Even in the last 1 week, you may be reading in the newspaper that Kerala, due to corona, the number of deaths is lowest in the country. Only 4 people, or rather 3 people, have been reported to have died due to corona. It is the best indicator among all the states in India. Okay, so income alone, the per capita income alone may not be able to ensure the health. Okay, it's also we need health development indicators. We also need health infrastructure. That is why you see the Kerala figures. Look at the there are some states where the incomes are also poor, low, and other indicators also. Let me give you another example of schooling, education. See, schools built is not sufficient. Children also attend regularly in the school. That is why I am using another indicator called net attendance ratio. Out of 100 children in your age group, say about 14, 15, 16, how many children attend regularly schools? Not only they are enrolled as a student, they have to attend regularly. Look at these statistics here. For the 2017-18, in Haryana, 63 children are attending. If you look at the national scenario, it's very, very not so satisfactory situation. Out of 100 children, 58 children only are attending schools on a regular basis. 42 children are not attending actually. But besides the national scenario, if you look at these 6 states, and Kerala is able to send 77 children attending schools regularly. It's much highest. Okay, and even like in Odisha, which is having one of the lowest income, 74,200 only, but it is sending 68 children, inviting to schools 68 children actually. So if you look at the Odisha's health indicator, it is not so satisfactory. Okay, so by merely looking at the income, you may not be able to get a real picture of development. You also have to see what the states are revealing now. For example, the Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is having relatively a lower income than Haryana, whereas its infant mortality is 16, the second highest among the 6 different states I am presenting here. Okay, so you also have to look at the education, you also have to look at the income, you also have to look at the health indicators. Okay, this is what the states indicators show. The development means you cannot perceive only in terms of your income. You also have to see the health, education, other development indicators. Okay, let us go to the international data. What international data evidences show with regard to incomes? Let me go to first income, and then I will come back to like I'll come again to the other indicators. I am comparing here. Look at this slide. If you look at the slide, I am comparing some 6-7 relatively developed countries all over the in the world actually. This income data that I am showing is a total income. Total income means the income earned by the all citizens of that country. Okay, who is having the highest total income? China. As far as this situation is concerned, they are having almost like $21,148 billion in 2017. The second highest income, America, it is $17,711. Who is having the third highest income? India. India is having the third highest income in terms of billion dollars, $8,723 billion. So if you look at the incomes alone, the total income, India is having almost like a third place. Okay, it is, we are just like 50% of America. If you look at the like China's figure, we are almost 1/3 of China. Okay, but let me like can this be sufficient? Look at the other indicator. I am also looking at the per capita income. The per capita income means the total income divided by the total population. Where are we figure now? You can use some simple calculator, and suppose like for example USA's income is how much per capita income? USA's income is highest in the world actually. The per capita income is, they are almost like a $54,471. Okay, today one like 75 rupees, you have to pay 75 rupees to get $1 actually. Okay, so the $54,471. So this is the highest. This India, like USA, is one of the highest income countries. Okay, and where we are like where we are placed actually. If you look at the India's figure, and it's almost like how much? 6,516. So almost like a 1/10. Okay, so what we are earning is like what America is earning. We are earning only 1/10 of America's income. If you look at Japan income also, and we are almost like 1/6 only. Okay, so if you look at the per capita income, again we are far behind. We are there's a lot of scope to improve our income. We have to 10 times we have to jump to arrive at the USA per capita income. Okay, so the per capita income wise we have to develop further actually. Okay, so the per capita income tells you the real picture of how income is distributed among different people. Okay, the total income is earned by people, may be earning lower income, higher income, but it may not be able to, we cannot understand how it is distributed among people actually. So the per capita income will help you to understand how incomes are distributed among different people actually. Okay, so I am giving you another, if you look at this slide, and this diagram is called clustered bar diagram. When you are in class 10, you may be having mathematics as one of the subjects. You also have to learn how to draw pie diagram, bar diagram, line diagrams. This is this clustered bar diagram. You can draw in the x-axis. You can put the numbers and so on. In the y-axis, you can put the items, categories actually. So this will be helpful if your data is relatively huge, high numbers. Okay, large numbers. So if you are having a data on a large number, you can use the clustered bar diagrams. You have to learn as how to draw this bar diagram. It's very simple actually. Okay, so if you look at this particular cluster diagram, what it shows in terms of rupees, Indian rupees, America's per capita income is almost like a 40 lakh rupees. India's income is about 5 lakh rupees, almost 8%, like 8 times more than what India is earning, America's income. So if you look at Japan, also similar case. Now you tell me, look at your definition or the explanation I gave you. How your countries are classified on, it is based on the basis of the per capita income of different countries. If 12,056 is the per capita income for recognizing a country as a developed country, what are the countries which you, in your view, consider as a developed country here? USA, and then Russia, Mexico, Japan, bus. So the other 4 countries, since they are lesser than the 12 lakh rupees, 12 lakh $56, they cannot be considered as developed countries. Okay. I told you that income alone is not sufficient. So for that purpose, what I tried was that I also look at the other development indicators. For this purpose, we are using 4 columns. If you look at the diagram, like if you look at the chart, we are comparing the countries Sri Lanka, India, Myanmar, Pakistan, Nepal and Bangladesh. This data is also available in the NCERT textbook. You can use this NCERT textbook. You can look at the NCERT textbooks for more details on this the indicator, what this indicator means. GNI per capita, life expectancy. Life expectancy means how many years we are able to live. Okay, how many years we are able to live. And the third indicator is mean years of schooling. Mean years of, look at the diagram, comparing, like if you look at the table here, the 4th column is having mean years of schooling. That means how many years the adults, those who are aged 25 and above, how many years they have gone to school. In Sri Lanka about 11 years. The adults who are aged 25 and above, on an average they have studied up to 11 years. Whereas in India, the adults, they are able to live only for, they studied up to 6.4 years. What is the rank of different countries? Where are we faring in India? Like India. India, as of today, our rank is 130. That means out of 186 countries, we are faring at the level of 130. Where Sri Lanka stands, 76. Where Bangladesh stands, 136. Where Pakistan stands, 150. Okay. Many of our neighbors are for like relatively lesser development indicators. But if you look at the life expectancy, the 3rd column, Nepal life expectancy is higher than India's life expectancy. How can you explain this actually? Okay, Bangladesh life expectancy is higher than India's life expectancy. Okay, so the income, if you look at from the income viewpoint, Sri Lanka is having the highest income. Okay, and then India is having second highest income. But in terms of other development indicators, you cannot, income alone is not sufficient, because here in this data, Nepal and Bangladesh are having higher life expectancy. Okay, so we have to see that as I told you, in the case of states, you have to look at the income, health, education, other development indicators for understanding about development. Okay, let us come back to our individuals. How you assess the health of your individual, like you as an individual. One of the simple indicator people are saying is that body mass index. What is body mass index? Body mass index will help you to understand what kind of nutritious food you are having. Okay, are you really malnutritioned? Are you taking proper nutrition as a nutrition diets? Okay, so body mass index is commonly used by families, by individuals as an indicator of health. Okay, development of health. How it can be calculated? It is calculated on the basis of two data: weight in kilograms and height in meters. Suppose my height is, like my weight is 85 kilograms. My height is 1.7 meters. Okay. So the formula, if you use the BMI formula, 85 divided by 1.7 into 1.7. Okay. If you look at 85 divided by 2, you will get around 2.6 something. So you will finally get 29 . So you can calculate, you can use your calculator. So the by my body mass index, if you look at the PPT, look at the PPT. So for adults, my body mass index is, I am obese. I am in some way malnutritioned adult. Okay. If my body mass index is 25 or below 25, then I am normal person actually. Otherwise, as of today, I am a obese person. If body mass index is 18.5 and less, that means they are not having proper nutritious food actually. In your house, let me give you one small activity. You go to everybody, ask them their height, and you also use your scale or tape in your house, collect the details of their height and weight, okay, all the members, write it in notebook. Follow the social distance policies of corona, go to your neighborhood, collect the details of their height and weight also. You can calculate the body mass index of each member of your family and your neighborhood family members. Okay. Then look at who are the persons who are malnutritioned, who are normal. Okay. And you can also ask them, or you can discuss among you can ask your parents that why we are having like obese, why we are malnutrition, what are the factors actually. So in this way you can assess the developmental indicator called body mass index actually. So for like not only the developmental indicators are useful not only for the whole country, it is also for your own family. So the body mass index is one simple indicator to assess the development within your family actually. Okay. See, today if you look at the all development that you are seeing today, suddenly you may be seeing in the newspaper that the pollution level in Delhi has come down, and the air quality is one of the best comparable with the London, okay, the city of London. Okay. Last year we had a lot of hue and cry with regard to the pollution levels in Delhi, but today this year our pollution levels are one of the best in the world actually. It is because of the corona, not necessarily because of the general life actually. So this life of so much of pollution, so much of production, is it sustainable? Can we maintain this development? You ask yourself actually. Okay. And I am giving you a simple example that the kind of development that we are perceiving is not sustainable. How can you say that actually? In the textbook we are using two indicators. One of the indicators is that, look at the PowerPoint. Groundwater. If you look at the groundwater, how do you get the groundwater? Groundwater you will get from the rainwater. Okay. The rainwater getting harvested formally, or it is just coming and we are trying to save, or some of them goes to like oceans and rivers actually. So the rainwater is the sole and only source of groundwater for the whole of the earth actually. So if you look at the rainwater, only 28% of the rainwater is usable by people for various purposes all over the world actually. India is a small country in terms of space, but it is consuming 1/4 of the total groundwater available for the whole earth actually. The usable groundwater, 1/4 we are using. That means we are one of the largest consumer of groundwater in the whole world actually. And this means that we have to rethink about it, how much, to what extent we can use groundwater in a manner which is sustainable actually. If you look at within the groundwater usage, the agriculture alone takes away the almost 70% of the groundwater. The agriculture is, if you look at the development, it's hardly 1/5 of the total GDP. From the total income, only less than 20% is coming from agriculture, but in terms of groundwater usage, it is taking away 70% of the groundwater available for us actually. Okay. So if you look at why this happens actually, you may be asking, so yes, we are depleting groundwater, why? It's also because the last 50 years the number of pump sets have increased from 1 crore to 3 crore. That means we are just sucking water, more and more water from the earth actually by using the pump sets actually. Secondly, the amount of land available for irrigation. Earlier we used to depending on rain-fed farmings actually, but today almost like 10 times the amount of land used, like in which water is used for irrigation. The amount of area under irrigation has increased 10 times actually. These are the two major reasons why the agriculture is taking a lot of water, but we have to rethink that to what extent this water can be in this way we can use our groundwater actually. So the second issue is that, like if you look at crude oil, look at the PowerPoint slide. We have as of now the crude oil reserves only for the next 50 years. Okay. And if you look at the countries like America, the total amount of reserve like oils is available only for 11 years actually. Okay. So as of whatever the oil that we have explored so far, it will be sustaining only for 50 years. That means it is doubtful whether your children will have in case like you are all adolescents now, and your children, whether they will have the crude oil reserves more crude oil, it is questionable. That means even today itself we have to start preserving the crude oil actually. So, the crude oil and groundwater, I told you for example that we have to think about how to conserve them, how to use them very economically, so that we are able to maintain this development. Okay. One small activity I am giving you. I gave you example of the groundwater and I gave you an example of the crude oil. How you can do the sustainable development? What kind of development activity where we can maintain this sustainable development? Sustainable development means you have to use the resources in such a manner that it is available for the future purposes also, for the future citizens also. Okay. It is not that like one time you use it, everything gets over actually. Okay. You look at the, you can also give any, like you can choose any examples from other resources. You look at the cropping pattern, what kind of, then you look at the use of fuel. You use firewood, you use gas and so on, or you also use electricity in the house. Okay. What are the sustainable development practices we can follow? Just small, write an essay, a 750 word essay, and share with your school teacher and discuss in the classroom what are the development practices followed in your region actually. This will lead to a lot of debate and discussion about what development means in your area, what development means in your state or in your country. Okay. Let me like come to the last key points of this unit called development. We looked at, if you look at the important points, that we looked at every individual has goals, aspirations, developmental goals. They may vary from person to person. Okay. And similarly, the countries are also having different developmental goals. It may vary from country to country. Okay. The countries like the Europe, countries in Europe may be having a different developmental goals when compared with India. Okay. And one important indicator is the per capita income. Okay. So this is the another key point. Per capita income is the major indicator of any region actually. It is calculated by the total income divided by the total population. Okay. And however, income alone cannot help us to understand development. You also need other indicators related to health, food security, education, democracy. They are all very important actually. Okay. And it is also not only important how the total income is, it is how it is distributed, how the fruits of development is distributed. Otherwise, development will become conflicting actually. Okay. And you also have to see the notion of development from the sustainability, to what extent we can use the resources in such a manner that we can save it for some future also. So this is the second set of key points. As like the other one is the learning outcomes in terms of what are the learning outcomes. This is mainly used for the assessment purposes and also for organizing your organizing classroom practices. And from the examination perspective, you also need to know how to define terms like per capita income, infant mortality ratio, life expectancy, net attendance ratio, mean years of schooling, what is sustainable development, what is human development index. Compare and like you also need to compare the data, how to analyze data, how to use the data, how to calculate the percentages. You need to know how to draw a diagram, how to draw a table. Then the third expectation, that you are expected to explain why we need, why we use different indicators rather than income alone actually. Okay. And what are the sustainable development, why we have to follow sustainable development practices. Okay. Let me give you, we are coming to the almost like an end of the discussion of this session. If you are in the class, you can also look at the questions. I am just giving you a sample, some 8-9 questions right now. Are there any questions, Tanvi? Sorry, raised by the students in the previous sessions?
Sir, there were questions, but you have covered all the questions. Whatever I had, you have covered them all.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me come back to the assessment part. The first question is that total income is sufficient to understand of a country or a state. True or false? You can write a notebook and you can just the first bullet, if it is true you can say T, or if it is false you can say F. Okay, let me read out one by one. The second bullet, per capita income is estimated by dividing the total income by the total population. True or false? The third bullet, life expectancy refers to number of years people are able to live in a region or country. True or false? According to World Bank, Russia is a developed country. True or false? Let me go to second set of questions. Most people in India follow sustainable development practices. True or false? According to Human Development Index, India is ranked as one of the top 50 countries. True or false? When compared with other countries, India is overusing its groundwater. True or false? The final question. Most people aspire to achieve similar development goals as individuals or as groups. True or false? So, if you answer the questions, you can discuss with your friends, you can discuss with your teacher how many questions you have correctly answered, how many questions you are not you are about to improve. You can look at these videos in the YouTube also. Let me finally discuss about the data. When you look at the data,
before we discuss the data, I just want to tell you that the viewers who are watching your program live and they are participating in this program, they are answering all your true false right now.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So the idea that before winding up this session, we also look at the data. Let me give you an example. When I discussed with you, I discussed the data of per capita, comparing countries. Okay, the comparing countries. If you look at the data, the GNI per capita, don't worry about what is this technical term GNI per capita. You will learn much better when you are in higher secondary. Okay, these are all some technical terms for understanding about development. As of now, you understand this is the average income of a country. Okay, so if you look at the countries like India, the per capita income of say different countries by the this data is published by the United Nations Development Program in its report called Human Development Report. Okay, this will give you one kind of figures. Okay, these figures may be different when you compare with say countries, different countries. Let me go to the if you look at the PowerPoint slide. So if you look at the per capita income that I am giving you, here this may give you a different figure actually. Okay, and in my view, different international organizations, different national organizations, governmental organizations bring out different reports. These reports have different numbers. So it is better not to worry about these numbers and look at whatever the book, whatever the numbers available in the textbook, and follow it as far as your examinations are concerned. Secondly, there is no data available, very recent data. For example, the per capita income data available from the reports. India is a big country. We have to collect data from 130 billion, 130 crore people actually. It is not an easy joke actually. So it takes many months for the agencies to collect data. Okay. So it will come with a time lag. For example, in my presentation, I discussed the data for the years of 2017 and 18. Okay, so there are some data, for example, literacy level data. If you look at the total population data also, these statistical agencies collect data once in 10 years only. For example, the population data is available with us. This was collected in 2011. Okay, so when you are discussing about developmental issues, whenever you are discussing development indicators, either it is education, health, total population, per capita income, infant mortality rate, don't look at them as something very updated all the time. All the statistics may not be may not be available to you updated. Only few statistics are available for the updates, particularly 2 years or 3 years lag actually. if you look at the per capita income data, generally there is a 4 to 6 years gap. For example, we are now living in 2020-21 and the latest data is available only for the year 2017-18. Okay. If you want to know the data on the literacy level, how many people literate in this country, we are depending only on the data available for the collected in during 2011 actually. Okay. Maybe in 2021, if everything goes fine, the government will collect the data for the 2021 year. Otherwise, the development indicators are available with a time lag actually. Okay. And as far as your classroom, your understanding about development is concerned, the statistics should not become a major, the latest statistics should not be an issue, rather how the statistics shows. In economics, the statistics is relatively, the 4-5 years gap will always be there actually. And also different statistics, so different agencies will come out with the different statistics. Okay. So even in the examinations also, we tell examination boards not to ask any questions with regard to the numbers. Rather, you look at the patterns. The pattern means, let me give you one example of comparing countries. I give you example like the per capita income. If you look at the per capita income of say USA, how can you how you can compare the data, how you can interpret the data. For example, the per capita income of India is 6,516. What is the income of the per capita income of the USA? 54,471. Okay. So if you divide the India's per capita income by USA per capita income, you will get, if you look at the data, 6516 divided by 54471 into 100, you will get 11.96. Okay, if you multiply by this 100, like this means yeah, so our income is almost like a 11%, okay, at most like a 12%. Okay, so this is the way you can analyze the data. If this is the way you can understand development. The India's per capita income is almost 12% of USA's per capita income.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
yeah.
sir. Yeah, we don't have time left for this session. But thank you so much. You have covered the major points here. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for to all the viewers who watched this program and you liked this program as well because you were participating in the on our YouTube channel. Thank you, and keep watching NCERT's online resource material. Next, we have the session on maths for class 10 students. The topic is going to be polynomial part 1. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere, stay in your homes, stay safe, stay protected because this is the lockdown period going on, and take care. Namaste.
Thank you.